Walter Matthau, born on October 1, 1920, in New York City, is remembered as one of Hollywood's most versatile and enduring actors. His signature wit, distinctively sardonic voice, and impeccable comedic timing made him a beloved figure in both drama and comedy. Walter John Matthau, later anglicized to Matthau, was the son of impoverished Jewish Russian immigrants. His mother, Rose, was a milliner, and his father, Milton, was an electrician who left the family when Matthau was young. Growing up in a poor neighborhood on the Lower East Side, Matthau developed his street-smart demeanor early on. His upbringing heavily influenced his later work, giving him an authentic edge in roles that called for grittiness or humor. Matthau attended Seward Park High School, where his natural flair for performance began to shine. After graduating, he worked various jobs, including as a concession stand cashier at a theater, a job that introduced him to the world of performance. His interest in acting deepened, eventually leading him to the dramatic workshop of the New School in New York City, where he studied under renowned acting teacher Erwin Piscator. Matthau's life took a dramatic turn during World War II. Enlisting in the U.S. Army Air Forces, he served as a radioman gunner in a B-24 bomber. After the war, Matthau returned to New York and pursued a career in theater. His stage debut came in the late 1940s, and by the 1950s, he had become a mainstay on Broadway. Notable early roles included parts in The Liar, 1950, and A Shot in the Dark, 1961. His performance in A Shot in the Dark caught the attention of critics and audiences alike, showcasing his ability to balance humor with gravity. Matthau's time on Broadway solidified his reputation as a skilled performer and earned him a Tony Award for Best Featured Actor in a Play for his work in A Shot in the Dark. His stage success laid the groundwork for a transition to film and television. Matthau's film debut came in The Kentuckian, 1955, where he played a villain opposite Burt Lancaster. Early in his movie career, Matthau was often cast in supporting roles, particularly as antagonists, due to his rugged looks and commanding presence. Films like King Creole, 1958, where he starred opposite Elvis Presley, further established him as a dependable character actor. The turning point in Matthau's film career came in the 1960s when he began collaborating with director Billy Wilder. Their first project together, The Fortune Cookie, 1966, paired Matthau with Jack Lemmon for the first time. Playing a scheming, cynical lawyer, Matthau's performance earned him an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. This role highlighted his ability to bring depth and complexity to comedic characters. In 1968, Matthau and Lemmon reunited for The Odd Couple, based on Neil Simon's play. Matthau played the messy, carefree Oscar Madison opposite Lemmon's neurotic Felix Ungar. The film was a massive success and remains one of Matthau's most iconic performances. The duo's chemistry was electric, leading to a series of successful collaborations over the years, including The Front Page, 1974, Buddy Buddy, 1981, and Grumpy Old Men, 1993. While Matthau excelled in comedy, he also proved himself capable in dramatic roles. In Charade, 1963, he delivered a convincing performance as a suave villain opposite Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn. He demonstrated his action chops in The Taking of Pelham 123, 1974, playing a world-weary transit police lieutenant in a tense thriller about a subway hijacking. Matthau's comedic prowess reached its peak in films like Hello, Dolly! 1969, Cactus Flower, 1969, and The Sunshine Boys, 1975, the latter earning him another Oscar nomination. His portrayal of aging vaudevillian Willie Clark in The Sunshine Boys is considered one of his finest performances, blending humor with poignant reflection on aging and friendship. In his later years, Matthau continued to work steadily, often appearing in comedies that capitalized on his irascible charm. Films like Grumpy Old Men and its sequel, Grumpier Old Men, 1995, introduced him to a new generation of fans. He also played memorable roles in family films, such as Mr. Wilson and Dennis the Menace, 1993, where his comedic timing was as sharp as ever. Matthau's final film, Hanging Up, 2000, was released shortly before his death. Though he was in declining health, his performance showcased the warmth and depth that defined his career. Matthau married twice. His second wife, Carol Grace, was with him until his death. Together, they had 2 children. Walter Matthau passed away on July 1, 2000, at the age of 79, due to a heart attack. His death marked the end of an era for Hollywood comedy, but his work continues to resonate. Walter Matthau starred in numerous iconic films, but these stand out as his best and most memorable. The Fortune Cookie, 1966. Matthau won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for his role as a conniving lawyer who convinces his brother-in-law to fake an injury for an insurance scam. The Sunshine Boys, 1975. Matthau stars as a cranky, retired vaudevillian forced to reunite with his former partner for a TV special. His performance earned him an Oscar nomination for Best Actor. Grumpy Old Men, 1993. Reuniting with Jack Lemmon, Matthau plays a cantankerous neighbor in this heartwarming and hilarious comedy about aging, friendship, and love. The Taking of Pelham 123, 1974. Matthau delivers a gripping performance as a transit police lieutenant in this tense thriller about a hijacked subway train. Charade, 1963. In this romantic thriller, Matthau plays a duplicitous CIA agent opposite Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn. His role adds suspense and intrigue to the plot. Hello, Dolly. 1969. Matthau shines as Horace Vandergelder, a grumpy millionaire, in this lavish musical alongside Barbra Streisand. His comedic timing adds charm to the film. A New Leaf, 1971, a dark comedy where Matthau stars as a playboy who plans to marry a wealthy heiress, Elaine May, and murder her for her fortune. His performance is both hilarious and unsettling. Cactus Flower, 1969. Matthau plays a dentist who enlists his assistant to pose as his wife in this romantic comedy. The film won Goldie Hawn an Oscar, but Mathau's performance anchors the story. Grumpier Old Men, 1995. This sequel to Grumpy Old Men showcases Matthau and Lemon's brilliant dynamic as their characters' rivalry continues, now with romantic complications involving Sophia Loren. The Front Page, 1974. Matthau stars as Walter Burns, a cunning newspaper editor, opposite Jack Lemmon in this fast-paced comedy about journalism and politics. Their sharp banter is a highlight. Dennis the Menace, 1993. Matthau plays the irritable yet lovable Mr. Wilson in this family comedy. His interactions with the mischievous Dennis are both hilarious and endearing. Failsafe, 1964. In a rare dramatic turn, Matthau plays Dr. Groa Shell, a cold and calculating political analyst, in this dense Cold War thriller about a nuclear crisis. Plaza Suite, 1971. Matthau takes on three distinct roles in this Neil Simon comedy, portraying different men dealing with personal crises in the same hotel suite. His range is on full display. Koch, 1971. Matthau earned an Oscar nomination for Best Actor as the title character, an elderly man navigating loneliness and purpose in this touching dramedy, directed by Jack Lemmon. These films highlight Matthau's range, from comedy to drama, cementing his status as one of Hollywood's greats.